You act like your name was Marjaniqua or Safariana. Like, you act like your name was unique. Girl, your name is Brittany. Like, what the heck? Back up on the move, touchdown at my hometown, got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. Ain't need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my boots. Hey y'all, it's TheBreeze and you're plugged into the Breeze lifestyle. If this not your first time here, say it with me. You already know. We locked in, friend. But either way, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you want to support your girl some more, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of me, then follow me on Instagram, TikTok at TheBreeze Lifestyle 777. Can we just take just a second to appreciate this silk press? Like, oh my gosh, y'all. I'm not even gonna say I did a big chop, but I had so many split ends. It was ridiculous. Like, I cut a lot of my hair off, but I thought it was gonna be worse than this. This is giving, oh, her bob grew out. It's not giving bob. I thought I was gonna be right here, to be honest, because I'm like, I ain't had no silk press, let alone no trim in like a year and a half. But y'all, so if y'all see me just doing all of this and doing all of that, like, just know your girl is excited about this silk press. Like, I can't, the mirror is behind my camera, so if y'all see me looking over there, it's because I keep looking at myself and I'm not conceited, but girl, when you see something good, it's like, you can't stop looking. But anyway, okay, I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and get into this video. This is gonna be a video about why your co-workers not your friends. Now, let me just put a disclaimer out there because you know it's an exception to the rules. I do have a co-worker who I was working with when I was like 19 years old. I'm still cool with her. She's still my friend. And I have a couple of co-workers that I work with to this day. Like, we actively work together and I do consider them my friends. But this time, y'all, I be so like scarred from this situation that it's like, I be scared to call people my friends, period, co-workers or not. It's like, how can you be so cool with somebody and then they change up on you? But let's go ahead and get into it. So bear with me with the names because it's a few of them and I didn't even think of the names in advance. But we're going to start here. We're going to start with my homegirl, Anna. So Anna is my homegirl. I met her in Atlanta. We're not going to go into the details about how I met her, but just know, like, we was cool, but I didn't know her for a long time. So one of my coworkers, okay, sorry, let me go even further back. So I used to work in a call center and I had these coworkers. Some of them we was in the same class together. Some of them we just grew close throughout us working together, right? So these were the type of coworkers that on Fridays, not every single Friday, but Fridays, we would pick somewhere to go, have happy hour. I was going to their houses. We was going out to the club. Like, we was meeting up outside of work. We like literally was friends and we knew each other for over a year, I would say. I don't know if it was it 2 years? It was at least over a year, but we was in a group chat. We was talking, like, we was literally friends, and these was my homegirls. I would have considered them like sisters for real, and I don't really use that word loosely, but they was so cool to me. It was like 5 or 6 of us in a group, but it was 1 or 2. It was 2 of them in particularly I was really close with. And everybody else I was close with, but 2 of them, like, they was my dogs, and it's like, one of them I'm still like cool with. We kind of talk back and forth on Instagram sometimes. But the other one, that's the one that was literally the problem. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I just want to let you know, like, these not just co-workers that I just text because I got their number. Like, no, we're legit hanging out. We're meeting somewhere, driving together, staying at, I won't say, I can't remember if I actually stayed at their houses. I think one of them I did stay at their house before. But it was like very good friendship vibes, right? Sorry, cool. So we working together and I told them that I was leaving to move to Atlanta. So before I moved to Atlanta, I was having like a going away party or whatever. It wasn't nothing big. It's just like a little barbecue or whatever. Because I moved down here in July. So it was like at the end of June where I had a little barbecue. So I'm inviting all of them. And one of them, I'm not gonna say that, but anyway, one of them got me a big gift and they all got me like money, like, you know, they was giving me stuff. Like, These was my dogs, like, and I really miss the times that we was cool. Not that I necessarily want to be cool with them again, but it's so sad that we fell out for something so stupid. But I really feel like when it comes to this coworkers, a lot of the time that y'all be cool is because y'all forced to spend 40 hours together a week and y'all bond off of, like, you know, you can't really talk about work to people who you don't work with because they don't care or they don't get it. So when you work with somebody, y'all be like, you know what Sarah did on the end of the, why would she talk to the customer like that? Like, just different little things like we all cared about or whatever. But we still just wasn't those coworkers that just talked about work. We talked about so many other things. We did so many illegal things together. Like, we was road dogs. Like, I just cannot stress that enough. Like, I would have never thought that we would have fell out. But anyway, cool. So let's just start giving them names. The one that I'm still pretty cool with, like, it's no beef whatsoever, we're gonna call her Apple. I'm just giving them names A, B, C, and D so I can try to keep them in line. So we're gonna give her Apple. The other one that I was cool with, I'm gonna call her Brittany. Another one, we're gonna call her Courtney. So Apple, Brittany, Courtney, and Denny's. So Apple, Brittany, Courtney, Denny's. Okay, now I gotta remember who's who. All right, so Apple is the person who I was really cool with, and she was the only one at the time who had kids. So I feel like we kind of bonded on that level too because certain things she will understand. So anyway, so let's just say we all had a good time, whatever. I leave. So me, Apple, and Brittany, all of our birthday was in the same month. So we was like, okay, let's do something for our birthday. Me and Apple actually have the same exact birthday. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Listen, if you know, you know. Like, I be really trying to not spare people, but it's like, I'm sorry, I'm a YouTuber, so I do talk about the things that I have been through. I'm not telling no lies, so I'm not going to not tell the story. It is what it is. Yeah, we passed it, but it happened. So, Apple, if you see this, I'm sorry, sis, but it is what it is. So, anyway, so me and Apple got the same birthday, and Brittany's birthday was in the same month. So, me, Apple, oh, wow, we actually was the only ones who came. Oh, wait. Dang, I can't remember if the other two, I know for sure one of them didn't come, but I can't remember if the other one came. But she really don't matter. She's not really part of how we blew up or whatever. But all 6 of my coworkers had came to this event that I had to going away or whatever. But we said that since I moved to Atlanta, and I was still pretty much a party girl. I wasn't always like a party girl. I was still a homebody. But baby, you're going to catch me outside every once in a while. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm about to be, I think I was turning 23 or 24. So I was still pretty young. And they was all older than me. So cool. I'm like, y'all should come down here for y'all birthday and we can go out, turn up, have a good time. Y'all can see my house. You know, I'm so excited about moving to Atlanta. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I just did this blackhead strip and I ain't put nothing on my face afterwards. So, my face feels like a little dry. Sorry. But yeah, so it was Apple, Brittany, Courtney, and Denny's, right? So, they all came. So, something happened, like, where I forgot exactly what happened, but basically I had a 3-bedroom house. It was me, my mom, my son, and I had the master room. So I told my son he could sleep in the room with my mom. And we had this, I didn't have a bed. I told them I didn't have a bed. I think they bought a blow-up bed or whatever. But I had a couch that was like 2 recliners on the couch or whatever. So some people slept in the living room, some people slept in the room. But we had came home from the club. Oh my gosh, y'all. So we went to the club. And I'm not blaming Brittany, but it was Brittany's responsibility. So anyway, I had to push to start, right? So we valeted our car. It was pouring down, raining outside, and Brittany offered to go to get the car or whatever. So I'm sure she didn't go by herself, but I just remember her coming back and she was soaking wet and she was in the car and I was like driving the car. But you know, valet, they have your keys. Long story short, y'all, how about we get all the way back to the house? I turn my car off and I'm like, Brittany, where's my keys? Oh my gosh, I forgot the keys. We're like 30 minutes away from the club. It's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like they leave the next day. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna do? Because at this time me and my mom only had one car. So how am I gonna get to the club to get my keys? Like, I was just frustrated, but at the same time I'm hosting them, so I'm not trying to like show. And she's literally soaking wet in the wintertime. So because she was standing outside this whole time waiting on them to bring the car, and I'm like, why you didn't just wait under the, anyway. So we get in the house, and I think like Brittany and Courtney end up getting into it. And I don't understand exactly why. I was explaining to my mom about my keys. Next thing you know, Courtney comes to me and she's crying. And she's like, Brielle, I'm just about to leave. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And mind you, Courtney has a husband. So she on the phone with her husband and she's pissed. Like, when Courtney is very much giving Valley girl, okay? So when she's pissed off, she's not like cussing and like she's not ratchetly pissed off, but she's crying, and I could tell like she's not her same chipper self. So I'm like, what's going on? She was like, I just can't do this. I can't do this. I'm going home. I'm like, girl, your flight is not until tomorrow in the afternoon. She's like, no, I called my husband. He's calling me an Uber. Da-da-da. And I'm just like, girl, are you sure you're okay? And she explained everything to me, but for the life of me, I cannot remember what they was arguing about, but I know it was between Courtney and Brittany. And I'm just like, yo, so then I go, so Courtney is in the room with me and my son's room. So I'm like, listen, please, like, because she got her stuff packed, girl, she's ready to go, okay? I'm just like, listen, please don't make no moves until I come back. Just, like, stay right here. You're separated from the group. Like, just chill real quick. I'm about to go check the temperature, and then I'll be right back. So I go back, and I just remember, like, Brittany basically saying, like, Courtney's acting like a baby and she don't care that she leaving and, whatever. And everybody else is kind of just like basically saying it just wasn't that serious, But Courtney is a little sensitive, I feel like. So I'm just like, at the end of the day, we all friends. And I just feel like I care a little more because I'm not with y'all every single day no more. Like, I really don't want us to be having no weird vibes. Like,
we are sisters. We stand together. We make a one big family, but we don't look the same. Our spots are different colors.
Okay, I'm sorry. Had a whole Cheetah Girls moment. But yeah, like, we're sisters, and I don't get to see y'all that much, so I don't want no weird vibes when y'all leave or whatever. But they just, like, or more so, Brittany just, like, she just don't care. Like, she don't feel like she did anything wrong. She's not worried about Courtney. Like, it is what it is. She want to leave. That's on her. So I'm just like, all right, y'all stand. We could talk about this because Courtney is adamant about leaving. Like, her husband has already called her Uber. And I'm already thinking, like, dang, what is her husband thinking? Like, these hoes done got my wife out here. She about to leave. Like, what kind of friends are these, And I just don't like, I take being a friend very seriously. I don't like that on my name. That whole, oh, she's not a good friend. Like, no, sis, you're not going to put that on my name. I'm a great friend, okay? So I go back to Courtney, and I'm just like, Courtney, like, please, you can sleep in here, and then we can, just in the morning, you don't have to talk to nobody, whatever, but I just don't feel comfortable you sleeping at the airport. You feel me? And she was like, no, Brielle, I'm sorry. It's nothing against you, but I'm out. Like, she just made it in her mind, like, she's not staying. She's gone. So I'm just like, okay. All right, cool. Like, if I can't change your mind, then it is what it is. I'll stay here with you until you leave or whatever. So I'm just standing there with her. She calming down a little bit. I'm just like, get yourself together. And please, like, share your location with me. So we share locations. She's talking to me. I'm like, please just consistently text me. Like, I'll be up for a while. Just let me know when you make it to the airport. Boom, 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 bow. So, of course, when she leaves, they just talking about her, whatever. I'm not about to act like I wasn't talking about her. But from their perspective of what happened, I didn't think it was that serious either. Again, I don't exactly remember what happened, but I do remember like them saying it wasn't that serious, and I was kind of agreeing with them. But at the same time, I don't care if y'all agree or not. Like, we can agree to disagree and not make nobody feel like they have to leave my house to go to the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's crazy. So anyway, that happened. So they leave. So it was a big thing, or Courtney left that night, and the other girls, they left the next day. Cool. After that, I can say, like, the dynamic of the group changed. Like, it did kind of change a little bit. And I had no control over it. I'm all the way in Atlanta. Y'all still in the same, like, y'all still work the same job. Y'all see each other every day. So I can't make y'all talk to each other. I can't make y'all hang. Like, I cannot be the peacemaker, because that's me. I'm the peacemaker, for real. If two of my friends is arguing, I'm not going to be the one that's, like, straddling in the fence. I can agree with both of them and make them both feel like, listen, it's not that deep. We friends. Like, let's just talk about it and let's get over it. Like, I'm not about to tell her what she want to hear, tell her what she want to hear, and then act like I wasn't talking to each other. Like, no, I'm not picking sides, but I'm not about to play both sides, if that makes sense. So anyway, cool. Now, Courtney had been married for a long time, and she was, like, trying to have a baby. So she ended up getting pregnant, and she was having a gender reveal party and a baby shower. So was this the gender reveal? I think this was the gender reveal. So when I first moved to Atlanta, like, I really felt like I had to keep coming back to Delaware for birthdays, bar mitzvahs, weddings, funerals, like, everything that happened, I did not want to miss out on it. I wanted to be involved. So I felt like I had to be, in the mix or whatever. So, cool. I am coming to that baby gender reveal. I don't care, whatever. And, all right, so I didn't have no job. Like, I had no job at this. No, I'm lying. I did have a job. At this time. I was working for the personal assistant. But, y'all, I was making like $12, $13 an hour. And when I was working at my other job, I was making almost $20 an hour. So it's like a big, like, I'm broke, like, for real. I'm not broke, but I ain't really making what I used to make. But I still agreed to pay, like give money towards the baby shower. And also, of course, I'm going to bring her a gift or whatever. So, cool. I'm helping plan, whatever. I'm excited. I'm coming in, whatever. I had also, this is something that's important, I had also got into a car accident in Delaware before I left. And I finally, it finally had settled or whatever. So when I came, they called me maybe a little less than a week before I was going to Delaware. And my lawyer called me, the case settled or whatever. Well, I keep saying or whatever. The case settled, and do you want us to mail you your check, or do you want to come pick it up? And I needed that check, bro. I really needed that check, because I didn't know how I was going to help out with the baby shower. Even though I committed to it, I didn't know how I was going to spend the money on gas, on get gas back home. I literally have went to Delaware before and not had no money to get back home. I've done that before. That's a whole nother story time. So, cool. I'm like, yes, I'm going to come pick that check up, because I need to cash it, mobile, deposit that in my account as soon as I get it, period. So, cool. Now, I did not want to go by myself. At this time, I had never driven to Delaware by myself. And just for reference, a drive from Atlanta to Delaware is 13 hours, okay? Maybe 12 hours, 12 to 13 hours is going to be, right? And that's literally with no breaks. So if you taking breaks, it's going to take longer. So I'm like, I do not want to go by myself. I didn't really have anybody to ask, but I end up asking. I think I named her Anna, but I'm going to change her name because it got to be something else. So I invited Brittany too. Brittany number 2. Now, I'm just going to spoil it a little bit. Brittany being Brittany was the reason that we all stopped being friends. Me and the Delaware people. Me and my coworkers. Because I had a new friend, and her name was Brittany. And my other friend name was Brittany. Y'all, the stupidest thing in the world. Just the dumbest thing. That's why it's was we ever really friends? I really have to question the whole friendship, because it was just so weird. So anyway, I ain't had no friends for real, but Brittany was down. She was like, yeah, cool. I ain't never been to Delaware. I don't think I'll ever go to Delaware. I don't mind going with you, but I don't got no license. So I'm like, okay, cool. I do wish somebody would help me drive because, like I said, I had never driven by myself. I will always do 4 hours. Somebody else do 4 hours. Then we do 2 hours and do 2 hours. Like, we would do it like that. So I'm like, dang, I'm going to be driving the whole way by myself. But at the same time, like, we'll be cool. We'll be cool. And me and Brittany was puffing on trees. And I just felt like, I know people be like, you puff on trees, you get tired. But when I'm just sitting there staring at something for hours and hours, I need something to keep me up. And for me, that was keeping me up, and I was heavy on Red Bulls. So I'm like, all right, cool, we could do it. So I tell them that my friend is coming. I got them on the phone with me, my coworkers. I think it was literally just Apple and Brittany. So I'm like, yeah, I got my friend. Her name is Brittany too. And Brittany was like, Brittany too? Like, what? Like, and I thought she would, I mean, I get it. Like, y'all got the same name, but girl, it's a million Britneys out here. You act like your name was Marjaniqua or Safariana. Like, you act like your name was unique. Girl, your name is Brittany. Like, what the heck? So I'm like, okay, at first I'm thinking this is a joke because we all was a little messy. I ain't gonna lie. Like, we all was a little messy. We all crack a little joke here and there, you know, whatever. But it got to a point where she really was telling me, like, after our phone call, we would be in group chats or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, me and Brittany on our way. We about to leave, you know, whatever. And she was like, yeah, you gonna have to call her something else. This is this girl's name. Like, her name is Brittany. Why would I call her something else? Like, now it's just like you're taking it a little too far. And it's like, I never want nobody to feel weird. Especially like this girl don't got no skin in the game. She don't know these people. She don't even care about these people. So what, like, she's doing me a favor by riding with me. So, and I don't have nobody else. And you're not going to do it. And nobody was going to help me pay for a flight. So it's like, and this was before 2020. So flights to Atlanta, flights to Delaware, or technically to Philly, they wasn't dumb expensive. But they wasn't cheap either. Like, it would be cheaper. And then I would need a rental on top of that. So it was just better for me to drive. So long story short, we get there the first night. Okay, so let's say I got there on a Friday. I leave on Friday. I get there on Friday. But I couldn't leave until after I got off of work. Or I think I might have got off of work at like, no. I'm trying to think. I don't think I had work. I just know that I got there around 10 or 11 o'clock, right? So I get there on a Friday, baby showers on a Saturday. I was leaving on Sunday or Monday, one of the two. So, all right, cool. No, I was leaving on Sunday. It was literally like a quick turnaround trip. So, you know, I don't know if you know, but when I drive long distances, y'all, I be tired. Like, I need dang near a whole day to chill. Like, I just need a whole day to chill because driving drains you, especially you doing 12, 13 hours straight by yourself. Like, that's a lot. And I just hate that I've been in so many situations where I'm trying to do the most for somebody and they're literally not considering me at all. Like, they literally do not care. So that's what I felt like in this situation. Like, people like thought that I just drove 20 minutes to be here. Like, bro, I drove a whole half a day just to be here for a freaking gender reveal. So anyway, mind you, like I said, I puff on tree. Now, these people, these coworkers are the type of coworkers that they don't puff on tree for real. But if you roll up and you with them, they're going to have their hand out for the blunt. And, like, I don't mind that because I'm always willing to share. Like, I always want people to be high with me. Like, that's how I felt. So, I don't mind that. But it's like, don't shame me or treat me crazy for wanting to roll up. When I spark it, you gonna want to get sparky. Like, what is wrong with you? So, anyway, I get there. I'm excited to see them. But, y'all, I'm tired. So, I introduced them. And Brittany is being weird to Brittany, too. Like, Brittany is being so weird, and I'm just like, come on. Like, I just don't have time for it. So, I just feel like, y'all tell me if I'm wrong or not. I was so tired that basically, like, they're getting everything ready for Courtney's baby gender reveal, and I was really, like, not really helping. But I was talking to people, and I was like, you know, this is my first time seeing them in, like, 6 months. So I'm talking to them. They pouring me shots. I'm rolling up, like doing stuff like that, but I'm not necessarily like helping. So Brittany always got to be in charge. And she like, okay, you're doing this, you do that. Brielle, what are you doing? Relaxing. I just got here. Like, I just got here. Y'all been here at least for an hour or two, and y'all live right around the corner. Like, I just got here. So don't really worry about what I'm doing. Just worry about what you're doing, okay? So here goes Brittany number 2. Oh, I'll help out, because mind you, Brittany number 2, she was a trooper with me. She tried her best not to go to sleep. She did nod off every once in a while, but she didn't want me to be going to sleep, obviously. So she wasn't driving, but she still was up most of the time. So she was like, yeah, I'll help out. She was like, oh, Brittany number 1. She's like, oh, well, like she didn't want to try to let her help. And I'm just like, yo, like, what you want me to do? Because me and Brittany 2 can do it together. And Brittany 2 was really doing most of the work. So I'm just talking to them. And next thing you know, y'all, like after I had went outside and puffed on that tree, like I came back inside and you can tell, you know, when you walk in a room and you can tell that everybody was just talking about you. Yeah, that's how it was. I just knew like I was the topic of conversation. So when I came back, it was just like, you know, now I'm high. And I'm just like, yo, like, I miss y'all so much. Like, just trying to be me. Like, I'm just being me. So they like, yeah, but we need to get this done. I'm like, it's gonna get done. Like, we got all night. It's gonna get done. So, whatever. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I sat down and I tapped out. I dozed off. Like, I dozed off and almost went to sleep. And Brittany was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. And it's like, girl, whose mom are you? Like, I don't understand. Is my mama here? Because you're treating me like you're my mom. And it's like, it's getting really weird. And it was just like, okay, I could see to an extent, like, yeah, I did come to help. But again, all of y'all live here. I literally just drove 12 hours to be here. I could have just showed up tomorrow. Like, you feel me? So anyway, it's just like, okay. So I'm just like pretending to do stuff at this point. I'm not really helping, but I'm trying not to go back to sleep and just like, okay, putting a little thing here, putting a little box here, like doing a little. And then basically it was time for us to go. And, you know, Brittany too was saying bye to everybody. And Brittany, like, didn't say anything to her. And I was just like, is this girl really being weird because her mom named her Brittany? Like, this is not a nickname. This is not a rap name that she chose after you dropped your mixtape. This is her real name. Like, she didn't have no choice but to be named Brittany. Like, she didn't have no say in that. Just how you ain't had no say in that. So why are you, I understand the whole jokey joke at first, but now it's just giving real childish, and I really don't like that because you're really making my friend feel some type of way, and I don't like that. So we leave, and Brittany too is asking me like, you know, is there a problem? Like, you know, is there something wrong? And I'm just like, girl, I don't know. I felt the vibes too. And she was like, yeah, I feel like, you know, it was weird vibes for you and for me. Like, I don't understand, you know, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I think everybody was just tired. Just still trying to make excuses for them. Like, I think everybody was just tired and just trying to really, like, what's the word? Not stressed, but just trying to get everything done. Like, don't take it personally. Like, these, because I'm telling Brittany too, oh, these my homegirls. They a good time. They so fun. They just say that. So the next day, I get my check, and, you know, now I got some money. But the way that they treated me, mainly Brittany, I'm just like, if I didn't have no money, like, what would you have said? Like, if I didn't have no money to contribute to this party, would you really have showed off? Like, would you really have made a big scene about it? Or would you understand as a friend that I am struggling a little bit? I literally just moved and quit my job to move to Atlanta. Like, would you understand that? Or would you just really just care about the money? So anyway, I give her the money. Or I sent her the money because Brittany was the one, like I said, handling everything. So I sent her the money and everything was cool. So she said something again like, you know, make sure when you come this time you don't be asleep or something, because I was still going to come early to the gender reveal to help set up. And I just like, just brush it off. Like, whatever. It is what it is. So, okay, cool. Now I got my friend. So my friend, Zane and Slim came to the actual gender reveal because they knew all my coworkers too. So, okay, so Zane met Brittany too, right? So she was just a good vibe, right? A good time. And Zane was coming to the baby shower, but she came a little later. But Slim came to the baby shower and she was basically on time. So Zane met Brittany before the gender reveal party, right? So me and Brittany too, get to the gender reveal party and most of the coworkers are there. So I'm just, Courtney is never treating us no type of way. We having a good time. And nobody else is treating Brittany a type of way but Brittany. Brittany too a type of way but Brittany. So I'm thinking we just starting off fresh. We just gonna have a good time. And like when I seen Brittany, she was like, so what we calling your friend today? Brittany? Like, we're going to call her Brittany. Like, whatever. So I'm just telling Brittany, like, because Brittany is a nice person, Brittany too. You don't have to worry about helping. I got it. I'm going to get you a drink and you can go ahead and sit down and I'm going to go ahead. Because I don't want to, like, separate them from her, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to sit around while somebody being shady towards me, and I don't want Brittany to buck up on these girls. So it's just like, yeah, I try to kind of separate them a little bit. So I'm just like, girl, stop. You need to stop. Like, like you're doing too much. So anyway, so she just act like she didn't know. Brittany just act like she didn't know nothing about what I was talking about. So while I'm setting up, Slim comes, and I'm thankful that Slim came because Slim was able to, obviously, not to say like that, but Slim didn't have it in her mind to be helping set up. Like, she just came to be a guest. So Slim and Brittany too is sitting together and they getting to know each other. So, all right, cool. So I'm helping, setting up, this, and that. So we just all talking, and I'm thinking like everything is cool. But I'm talking to Denny's, and we kind of talking about last night. And I'm just like, yeah, I just think it's weird, like, and she was like, yeah, she's kind of really mad about that or whatever. And I'm just like, why? And she was like, yeah, she was mad that you was falling asleep, da, da, da. And I'm just explaining to her because I feel like I can tell all these coworkers the same story and tell that same story to whoever I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about Brittany to any one of these girls like I can't say it to Brittany. But Brittany's being weird. And I wonder if you feel that she's being weird or if you think I'm wrong. I'm just trying to get an understanding. Even though in my heart, I don't feel like I'm wrong. So I'm like, girl, I literally drove 12 hours to be here and I thought we was like having a good time. Like I didn't think we was in the military and we just had to sit to hut. Like I didn't think that was what this little get together was giving. She was like, yeah, whatever. She was kind of agreeing with me. So cool. So we go through the whole shebang. And it seemed like Brittany was being nice to Brittany, but nonchalantly. Like, you know how we in a group and everybody's talking and she might she might say something, whatever. So I'm just like, all right, cool. We all good, whatever. So then, what's her name? Zane. Then Zane comes. Now, Zane and Slim, mind you, they my childhood friends, like my sisters. We stand together, okay? So I really take their opinion seriously. So at one point of the party, I'm sitting next to those three, and everybody else is kind of sitting with each other, minus Courtney, because she's sitting with her husband, right? So I'm just kind of telling them, and mind you, Brittany too is kind of already giving them the spiel about what's been going on. And she was like Slim and Zane was like, that's weird. Like, why are they being weird to her? Like, that's weird over the name. Like, that doesn't make sense. So anyway, it's just starting to be a little tension because you can kind of see the divide in the room. Now, usually I'm kind of like Brittany, where I'm like taking charge. All right, guys, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Da, 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 da. But I'm really just being a guest. Like, I'm helping clean up. I'm helping doing things like in the background. but I don't need to be the host. Like, you got this, sis. So she's being the host or whatever. And it just seemed like she just had a little attitude. So we never really got into it, like started arguing or whatever, but I could just tell that something was off or whatever. So, all right, cool. I'm just like, I'm not about to say nothing. I'm not going to mess up this day for Courtney. It's all about her. This is why I'm here. I'm not worried about Brittany. It just is what it is. So, boom. I'm about to leave. Like, it's time to leave. Everybody's about to leave. And, what's her name? Slim goes on her way. Zane and me and Brittany number 2, we was going somewhere else. I forgot exactly where we went. I think I had one of my friends that I wanted to go see before I left. So, Apple, this is where it's just like, girl. So, Apple was like, okay, I'm going to meet up with you a little later, but I'm going to stay here with them for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not never asking nobody to pick sides or whatever. But again, I'm leaving tomorrow and y'all supposed to be my friends. Like, you know I came here for the baby gender reveal, but at the same time, do you miss me? Like, do you want to hang out with me? And me and Apple literally was the closest ones. So she like, yeah, so cool. So I say bye to everybody, give Courtney a hug. I even give Brittany a hug, Denny a hug, whatever. So I'm just like, this is so weird. I'm talking to Brittany and Zane, just telling him, Brittany number 2 and Zane, just telling them how weird this is, right? So I'm just rolling up and we on the block or whatever. So eventually it's like maybe an hour and a half passed and Apple is calling my phone asking me where I'm at. So she ended up pulling up on us. When I tell you the first thing she did when she got in that car was spill the tea. She's spilling the tea, telling me how Brittany is mad that I wasn't helping out and this and that. Like, just really talking big about me. And Denny's is agreeing with her. And I was just like, wait, because I talked to Denny's about it and she said that she understood my point of view and like she didn't see anything that I did was wrong. So now when I leave and now that Brittany's talking about it, now you changing up. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't even care. But she's telling me all this stuff that Brittany is talking about. Like, it's like, girl, all of this because I got a friend that got the same name as you? Like, that don't even make sense. What part of the game is this? So I know my friends. Or not friends. You feel me? I know. So I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. And you know how you know your friend gonna run back. And when you know somebody gonna run back and tell that, it's like you talk big, you talk heavy. So I'm talking heavy. Like, I'm not saying nothing that's not, real. But I'm just like, yeah, like, she's dumb. Like, she mad over her name. Girl, your name is basic. Like, I'm just saying all this stuff to Apple because I know she's going to run back and tell her. So we just, Apple just telling me, yeah, that don't even make sense. Like, I don't understand why. I thought it was funny at first, but I don't understand why she making such a big deal about it. Like, it's not that deep. So y'all know what she did. She went back and ran back and told Brittany everything. The reason I know that she told Brittany everything is because Brittany unfollowed me and I never heard from Brittany again. I never heard from Brittany again because when we left, it wasn't that serious. I know she wouldn't have just unfollowed me because of that. But what I was saying to Apple, oh yeah, I would have unfollowed me too. Like, I would have unfollowed me too. So it's just like, what was the point of you, Apple, telling me everything that they told you, trying to get a reaction out of me, just so you can run and tell them everything I told you? I mean, wait, did I say that right? What was the point of you telling me everything they told you? Right. For you to come to me so I could tell you and you could run back then. Like, I just don't like people like that. I feel like that's giving, you're playing both sides. You're definitely playing both sides. And are you telling your part of the story? Are you telling me how you was agreeing with them when they was talking about me? And are you telling them that you was agreeing with me when I was talking about them? Was you? I highly doubt it because I feel like we would have both been blocked. But it is what it is. They still friends to this day. But the whole thing is, I feel like, should I say this? I want to say that I feel a little bit, and I could be 100% wrong, but I feel like there was a little jealousy that started brewing in the friend group. It's like, I'm like chasing my dreams. We all was working the same 9 to 5 together. I'm chasing my dreams. I quit my job to leave. Since I left, I done lost the weight that we all been talking about losing. I'm in the A, living my best life. Like, even when I was broke, like, I was like telling people like I'm having a great time. Like, life is life, and in the greatest way. So I never really was telling people my problems, but I never regretted my decision to move to Atlanta. So I just felt like once they kind of seen that, we started drifting away a little bit. And because we couldn't like hang out every single day, it's like they wasn't really treating me like their friend. And it's like, I understand, like, even with my two friends, Zane and Slim, when I lived in Delaware, we talked every single day. And to this day, like, me and Slim, we might talk once a month, once every 2-3 months. But when we talk, we pick up where we left off. Me and Zane, we don't talk every day. We send voice notes to each other, but it don't matter. When we talk to each other, we pick up where we left off. I never feel like no weird vibes from them. But those is my real dogs. Like, those is my real friends. But with these people, it just felt like once I moved, like, they kicked me out of the group for real. Like, after they had came down to Atlanta, they literally kicked me out of the group. And it's like, they literally did not consider the fact that I was dog tired and I literally came for a gender reveal party. Not even the baby shower. I drove 24 hours, 12 back and forth, to be at your gender reveal party. Now, Courtney was very appreciative, but everybody around her was just treating me as if it was just an hour drive away. And it was just like, I didn't like that. So that's my story about how my coworkers just was not my friends. Don't let time spent together confuse you. Like, you can have good times together, but what about when you change jobs? What about when you change states? Like, are those still your friends? Like, would they be your friends if you wasn't forced to spend all this time together? And I really tried to like rekindle with Apple, but it's like, it's just not the same. And I just know in my heart, like, now mind you, it's no bad blood. Like, I still comment on her Insta stories. I still like her pictures and stuff. It's no problem, but it would never, ever, like, we was tight, bro. It would never, ever go back to how it was because, and I even tried to ignore the fact that she really ran back and told everything, like, word for word. And the reason I know, I think Denny's has said something to me, too, about her coming back, telling everything. But it's just like, what? No shade, but like, why even keep people around you like that? I'm just at the point in my life, like, I don't want nobody around me that I got to second guess. So I thank God that we never really got back to how it actually was. But I really, like, missed that friendship. I missed the friendship of all of them because I felt like we was all friends. But it's obvious that that just wasn't the case. So y'all tell me in the comments, was I wrong for driving down there and not helping at the night before, not helping too much set up and puffing on my tree and drinking on my drink? Was I wrong for that? Was Brittany number 2 wrong that she just was like, was I wrong for not telling Brittany number 2 that she had to change her name? Because Brittany number 1 had a problem with her having a name as her. Like, was I wrong for that? Because I don't feel like I went wrong anywhere. Like, I mean, I guess I could have waited until I got back to the room to get high. But it's like, we're not in school. We're not on the job. I get high before I go to work. I used to. So it's like, I don't know. I didn't see nothing wrong, but y'all tell me in the comments. Either way, this is The Breeze. You've been plugged into The Breeze lifestyle. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you made it this far, leave me an orange heart. And I'll see y'all on my next one. Bye.